Thank you for your answers. We want to overview some of the general points at this time. Remember that regardless of which option you pick, the computer draws a ball from the left box in that option if you won the lottery, and it draws a ball from the right box in that option if you lost the lottery. Before you see the color of the ball drawn from an option, you know that the overall chances of winning are 50%. If your ticket number is an odd number and the die roll is also an odd number, you win. Also, if your ticket number is an even number and the die roll is also an even number, you win. Otherwise, you lose. So there is an equal chance that you won or lost the lottery. Remember that the computer knows whether you won or lost, and the color of the ball that the computer draws from an option may give you more information. Also, another common feature you may have already realized in the first question is that across all questions, seeing a red ball means that your chances of having won are either equal to or higher than 50%. And seeing a black ball means that your chances are either equal to or lower than 50%. How much your expectations of having won changes after you see a red or black ball depends on the contents of the boxes. Now let's move on to question 2 and examine the options it presents. Now we will review question 2. Question 2 asks you to choose between two options. These options are quite different than the simpler options you saw in question 1, so take a moment to inspect them carefully. If you pick option 1 and you won the lottery, the computer draws a ball from the box with 100 red balls, and if you lost, it draws a ball from the box with 50 red and 50 black balls. If you pick option 2 and you won the lottery, the computer draws a ball from the box with 50 red and 50 black balls, and if you lost the lottery, it draws a ball from the box with 100 black balls. How do these two options differ in the type of information they can provide about whether you won or lost the lottery? Let's look into option 1 first. You can expect to see a red ball from option 1 75% of the time and a black ball 25% of the time, because for half the participants who won, the computer will draw from the left box, always getting a red ball. And for the other half of the participants who lost, the computer will draw a ball from the right box, getting a red ball in half of those instances and a black ball in the other half of those instances. So overall, you can expect to see a red ball 75% of the time and a black ball 25% of the time. Now, let's think about what it means if you see a red ball and what it means if you see a black ball. If you see a black ball from option 1, you learn right away that you lost the lottery. Why? Because black balls can only come from the right box. The computer draws from the right box only if it determines that you lost the lottery. How about if you see a red ball? Note that the red ball could have come from either the left box or the right box, so you cannot conclude whether you won or lost for sure. However, note that there are twice as many red balls in the left box than in the right box, so it is more likely to observe a red ball if you won than it is to observe it if you lost. Therefore, seeing a red ball is basically getting news that your chances of winning are better than the general 50% chance, albeit still uncertain. In fact, seeing a red ball from option 1 means that the chances that your ticket won are 67%. We've reviewed option 1. Now let's look at option 2. You can expect to see a red ball from option 2 25% of the time and a black ball 75% of the time, because for half the participants who won, the computer draws a ball from the left box, and only half of those instances the color of the ball will be red. If you see a red ball from option 2, it means that you won the lottery. You know this for sure because the only way you can see a red ball is if it comes from the left box, and the computer only draws from that box if you won. How about if you see a black ball? Note that the black ball could have come from either the left box or the right box, but there are twice as many black balls in the right box than in the left, so seeing a black ball is a signal that your chances of winning are lower than 50%, albeit still uncertain. When we calculate the odds, we see that in option 2, seeing a black ball means that the chances that your ticket won are 33%. Let's take a moment to compare the two options presented in question 2. First of all, neither option can give you certain information all the time. They mainly differ in the kind of information that they can provide. In option 1, you are more likely to see a red ball, and in option 2, you are more likely to see a black ball. In option 1, seeing a black ball means that you lost for sure. Seeing a red ball means that your chances of winning are 67%. In comparison, in option 2, seeing a black ball means that your chances of winning are 33%, and seeing a red ball means that you won for sure. Please take a moment to think about the kind of information these options offer and what kind of information you would like to get about your chances of winning. Remember that you will get this information at the end of Part 1, sit with it, and learn the outcome of the die roll at the end of the study. Now, please move on to the comprehension and choice questions by clicking the next button when it appears.